Alright, today we're going to be grading Amazing Spider-Man number 43. This is the, I believe, second appearance of Rhino and the first full appearance of Mary Jane. So, what we're going to do is use my grading tool in this grading here, this video. And it's a Excel-based sheet. I use it in Google Sheets. And it's a points-based system for getting a ballpark grade on comic books. I'll put a link in the description and above as well if you want to check that out. So let's go ahead and just get started. The first thing we look at to see if there's any bindery issues. Is there any off-centering? Is there bindery tears? Anything like that? And just a glance here, I don't see anything like that. It doesn't look like there's a miswrap or anything like that. So we're going to stick with just nothing there for now. If we see something while we're grading other areas of the book, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So the next thing we look at is the corners. Are they sharp? Is there blunting? Is there a piece missing? Anything like that? We call these creases right here, we'll call that part of the cover, so we'll grade that separately. But there's a slight little blunting there, ding or whatever you want to call it. A little bit of a rounding, slight little bit there. Definitely not sharp corners. Same thing on the spine, top and bottom. They're not too bad, but they're definitely there. I would say so far, we're probably getting toward moderate. Back corners are pretty good on this book. There's some marble chipping here, which I don't think they grade too harshly. Yeah, you can see these corners are definitely moderately blunted here. So we're going to go with moderate on the spine. I'm sorry, on the corners. And let's look at the edges. We're just looking to see if there's any pitting, chipping, anything like that. There's definitely some color break wear right here on the bottom. I'd say that's light wear along the bottom edge here. The marble chipping here on the side, very minor at the top there, minor down there as well. And at the top, a couple little minor dings there, one or two there as well. Let's just look at the back. Some more marble chipping there, and a couple little dings on the bottom. I'd say we're probably in the moderate range on the edge. I don't think it's light enough to be considered minor, so I think we're going to have to go probably moderate on the edges. It could be somewhere between minor and moderate, more toward the moderate end, but we'll go ahead and just mark it as moderate to err on that side of caution. So let's look at the spine. The spine is halfway decent on this cover. It's definitely got some color breaks here, some spine ticks, but they're not terrible. I would in fact say, yeah, I would have to say moderate. You can see down here, 1, 2, 3, pretty nice sized ones here. It's not anything that extends like half an inch into the book though, and there's no major creasing or anything like that. So I'm going to go moderate on the spine. It's like we're moderate all the way down the row so far. Staples on this book. Let's see, I can't see it there. Get a little magnification. Staples are shiny. Maybe a slight little discoloration on the bottom one there. So let's turn to the middle of the book real quick just to see. It should be about page 13-ish. Okay, right there. They're firmly attached. I don't see any issues. They look like the original staples. Okay, so really nothing to say on this. We'll go tiny on the staples. I think they're actually pretty nice. I think we're good to go there. The cover sits flat. There's a slight bit of gloss left. I don't see any major crinkles or anything in the center. The most important areas of the book look fully intact and in good shape. This corner here definitely has some creasing. So that's going to get us to moderate already right there because of that 1/4 inch creases. We have the same, something, not the same, but we have creasing up here, color break as well, right there. All right. So we're in the moderate range right now. There's also some minor color breaking lines, creases right here as well. Like this was folded over at some point. We have some creasing down here, very minor. Obviously the white is not going to break color. Let's see, there's some tanning, but not too bad. I don't think we're extensive. I think we're going to have to stick with moderate on this. We'll go moderate on the cover. It's like just a solid mid-grade book. That's why we're in the moderate range, right in the middle. pages, we already kind of looked a little bit at the pages. Off-white to white, I would guess, or maybe just straight off-white. It could go either way here. I'm no expert at grading the color of pages. I'm kind of all over the place there, but I don't have an OWL card, and those things aren't really that accurate anyway, from what I could tell. OWL card seems to think everything is white, so. Say off-white to white's pretty fair here. These are some, pages are nice on the inside. There's no major tears or anything like that so far. Nothing missing. Looks like a complete book. Yeah, we've already kind of went to this point. Just make sure. There is a little stain here, so that's going to get us. This actually looks like a fingerprint right there, so that's going to detract. But I think that's the only thing on the entire interior, though. So I'm going to go minor. I would have gone tiny, or even not even, or something negligible, just because it's off white. But I think I'm going to have to just jump to minor, just because of that one little stain on the inside. Okay, so we've got this thing filled out, and usually what I'll do before I go on the computer and we finalize what we think the grade is, I'm going to just ballpark it myself. I think it's a solid mid-grade book. I think it's too good to be a 4.5 or 5.0. I think it's not. I don't think it's good enough to be a 7. I could see this book falling somewhere in the 6.0 to 6.5 range. I think it's too good to be a 5.5. I think this is a 6.0 right now as it sits. And I think it could potentially, I could see this book squeaking out a 7, but I think that might be a stretch with these color breaks. Yeah, I think 6.5 to 7, but I'm kind of leaning more probably toward it being more like a 6.5. I'd be happy with a 6.5 in this book. And if they were grading harshly, I could see them giving this book, you know, a 5.5 as well, even after press. Okay, so we'll go on the computer now and we'll see what we come up with. Okay, let's grade number 43. We've got nothing on bindery. We've got moderate on corners, edges, and spine. So let's just tick those here. And you can see, you can follow along here on the left side of your screen. And you also can see our score sheet on the right-hand side, along with our maximum defect allowed per grade level. I came up with that myself. I accumulated this from just watching a bunch of videos, reading a bunch online, and it just took a while. But yeah, I did put that together for you. And that'll also be included in the free grading tool. If you want to check that out, just click the link in the description. So staples we had as tiny. And cover we had as moderate. And pages we had as minor. Okay. So our assessment of this book, make sure I got that right. We thought this book was a 6.0, and the tool thinks it's a 6.5. And I thought after press it would be a 6.5 to 7. So we're in the same ballpark. Let's see what 35 points gets us. Look at the chart there on the right-hand side. 35 is borderline between 6.5 and 6. So we're pretty close to being right on the dot here. Okay, so now let's just think about what this book could look like after a press. So I'll just recreate this on the right-hand side here. That's why we have this separate sheet here, so we can kind of compare what a pre and post press. So let's think corners, edges, not much we can do. The spine we can always clean up a little bit. And I do think we had some bends in the spine. I think we can get somewhere between minor and moderate, so I'm gonna go right here. Staples, nothing we can do. Cover, we can clean up a little bit, I think. So we can go probably the same thing, something like that. Pages, not really much we can do. I think we're stuck at minor on that one. So yeah, I think this, as it sits right now, is about a 6.0. I'm gonna err on that side. I know this tool says 6.5, but it's rounding up. We don't round up in grading, we round down, correct? So we want to err on that side. So I think this is a 6.0, and I think a potential 7.0 after press, but certainly 6.5 would be pretty solid. Would be a pretty good guess after press, I think, on this book. So we're going to stick with that. I'm actually going to leave it alone. I had it at 6.0 and then 6.5 to 7 after press. I'm going to leave it right there. I think that's a solid number for this book. So yeah, I think we're pretty good on that. I'm looking forward to getting these books back. I'm doing a whole Silver Age submission. And yeah, I'm excited to see how well this tool does and whether we need to recalibrate it in some way. So thanks for watching. Happy collecting.